everybody. This video is going to be on how to find the least common multiple of two numbers. So let's say we have 6 and 8 and we want to find the least common multiple. So it's a very neat trick we can use. We write it as a fraction. It actually doesn't matter what we put as a numerator or denominator, but we write it as a fraction, 6 over 8, and then we reduce the fraction. So I can divide both sides, the numerator and denominator, by 2, so I get 3/4. And then to get the LCM, all I do is cross multiply. So the LCM is going to be 6 times 4 or 8 times 3. And that equals 24. Okay, let's do another example. Let's try 16 and 24. Find the least common multiple. So I'm going to write it as a fraction and reduce it. I can divide both sides by 8, so I just get 2/3. And then I can cross multiply this way or cross multiply this way. So the LCM equals 48. Okay? It's a pretty great method, isn't it? All right? As a convention, I just like to put the smaller number on top, but you don't have to do that. Let's try this one now. Let's do 64, and I'm going to make a point here, divided by 120. So before I do that, though, let's say I'm asking the LCM of 64 and 120. Okay? So what if you can't figure out the greatest common factor right away? Well, just keep dividing by small numbers, so I get 32 out of 60, then I get 16 out of 30, and then I get 8 out of 15. And then we can see, well, I can't do anything more after this, okay? Because I just have 2 as a factor for 8. So now I want to focus on the most reduced fraction, and I can either cross multiply saying 64 times 15 or 120 times 8. Now, I know that 12 times 8 is 96. So I know the LCM is going to be 960. So there we have it, okay? Okay, as far as why does this method work? Well, it's actually not that hard to explain, so let me explain it real quick, okay? Let's say I have 4 over 6, and I want to find the least common multiple. So I can always find a common multiple by inverting the fraction. So I can just say 6 over 4, right? I'm going to get 24 here, and I'm going to get 24 here. So I can always find a common multiple that way. And so the goal is I want to attain the same number, Now, this is a common multiple. How can we get a lesser common multiple? We have to divide out factors, and that's what we're doing here. So, you think of it like this. I have 4 times 6 equals 24, a common multiple, and I have 6 times 4 that equals 24. We have to maintain this 6-to-4 ratio, okay, in order to get the same number, which is the goal of a common multiple, okay? We have to say 4, 8, 12, and then 6, 12, they have to multiply to get to the same number, okay? So this 6-to-4 ratio must be intact. And it turns out we can take out a common factor. So it turns out 4 times 3 is 12, and then 6 times 2 is 12. So it's actually similar to the rule which says that the least common multiple of two numbers is their product divided by their greatest common factor. Okay? Let's do one more example with 3 numbers, and I'm just going to show you how the process works there. Okay, so let's say I have the numbers. Let me go down a little bit more. So let's say I have the numbers 16, 24, and then let's make it 36, okay? So we just go 2 numbers at a time, find the least common multiple, and then we find the least common multiple of that and the third number. And we can start with any 2 numbers we want, okay? Now, I'm going to make a choice and actually start with these 2 numbers, okay? Because I recognize that I can make an easy reduction. So I have 24 over 36. I'm going to reduce, divide both sides by 12. I get 2/3. So I know the LCM of these are 36 times 2 is 72. Great, bring down the 16. So now I have to work with 16 and 72. So let me make a fraction. And I'm going to keep dividing by 2 until I can't. So 8 over 36, 4 over 18. You don't have to do this. I'm just making a point that if you can't find the greatest common factor right away, just pick a small number. Great. So now I see that 72 times 2 is going to give me 144. Okay? Which is the least common multiple.